The thinking is it is always good to have your BCM program at least aligned to some best practices standard that governs business continuity management. The reason that we chose ISO 22301 is because it is now really the most widely known standard that governs business continuity management. So whether you actually align to it or take the next step and certify to it is really based on your organizational goals and really what you want to get out of your business continuity management program. But I would say at a minimum, having your program aligned to it would be a best practice that we would recommend. There are other standards that govern business continuity management, many of which are very industry specific. As an example, within the financial services industry, there are FFIEC standards that set guidance for business continuity management. In the healthcare world, there are standards, HIPAA addresses business continuity management. But what the ISO does, which is nice, is it kind of takes the best of all of those worlds. So the ISO now has certainly a lot of its main components from the British standard, but it also pretty sufficiently covers everything that the FFIEC standard would cover, as well as what the healthcare standards would cover. There's a lot of reasons why we feel the ISO standard is the way to go and the importance of aligning or certifying to it. First of all, it is now an international standard. So what we see with many of our clients is they have global operations, and having an ISO standard now that is a worldwide recognized standard, aligning to that, you can make sure that your entire program is consistent and can remain on track. What's happening overseas is the same that's happening here in the United States. The ultimate goal would be certification. However, for many of our clients, and depending on the industry that you're in, certification may be overkill. At a minimum, we would recommend that you align to the standard. And aligning to the standard really will mean that your program has adopted all of the components that the ISO sets out. The ISO is not prescriptive in telling you how you need to go about building your program, but what it does do is it covers all of the components that your BCM program should be encompassing. Now, the difference between aligning and certifying, of course, is taking it to the next step of certification. You are truly being audited that you have met all of the components that are set forth in the ISO standard. It is rather a lengthy process, so if you are going to take it to that step, there really should be a compelling need and a compelling reason to do so, some of which may be because you have global operations and you are constantly being challenged by your client base to prove that you have a very mature business continuity management program in place.